This is the Sports Hounds Real Sports Bark Podcast, bringing you current events, news, NFL, NBA, MLB, soccer, UFC, boxing, and more. Make sure to hit us up on the website, thesportshound.com. And now, here's your host, Tigsta.
What is happening, everybody? It is July 1st, 2018, and on this day, it is known as the first day of the NBA free agency period. This is where teams and players can agree to deals, can't sign off on them until I think July 6th, but they can agree in principle to sign a contract or with either with the team that they are currently with or other teams. So let's get into it because we got big news, real big news. First off, let's get into it as far as Chris Paul. Chris Paul of the Houston Rockets has re-signed to a max deal back with the Houston Rockets. So they're keeping that 1-2 combo with Harden and CP3 together, which makes sense. They made it all the way to the Western Conference Championship, and due to injury, Paul did not make the last two games of that Game 7 series against the Golden State Warriors, who were crowned the champions this year for a back-to-back, with Kevin Durant getting the MVP of the finals. He had a hell of a series. He showed up and showed out, you know what I mean? So, congrats to Chris Paul. Paul George is remaining with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He will not be leaving. So he took a deal also with the Oklahoma City, staying there with Westbrook. You have Carmelo Anthony opting into his contract, which I think the player option was for $27.9 million, which I wouldn't have opted out of that either. You know what I mean? So if the team has any future plans with him, I think that no trade clause still, since it's the initial contract that he is under, is still exists in writing. So I guess if the team wants to move on from him, it has to be a team that Carmelo wants to go to. So we also have DeAndre Jordan not taking the player option with the Los Angeles Clippers, becoming a free agent. And it is said that he has agreed to a one-year deal with the Dallas Mavericks, which Dallas was after him 3 years ago when he, reneged on the verbal agreement and went off to the Clippers and signed off, back with them. But with that team being dismantled and pretty much rebuilding, with Chris Paul going to Houston, they traded Blake Griffin to the Detroit Pistons, and now Andre Jordan is going to become a Dallas Maverick. Now, drum roll please. We have a big announcement that has just been announced via a statement. No news clip, no press conference. And it is that Mr. LeBron James from the Cleveland Cavaliers, who is a free agent again, he has agreed in principle to sign with, ready? The Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of people already knew this. Let's get into this before we get into the numbers and so forth. But a lot of people was anticipating him going to LA. You had little leaks coming out and little hints. CP3 was trying to, from what is said or what is rumored, is that he was trying to recruit LeBron to come to Houston, but he told people that LeBron wants to go to LA. Also, LeBron's 13-year-old son is enrolling in a high school in LA, which other basketball players' sons, I heard Kenyon Martin's son goes there. I think the nephew of Derek Fisher goes there, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Scottie Pippen's son. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that one. I think it's Scottie Pippen's son that goes there also. So it's out in the Valley, in Los Angeles area, which LeBron stays in the off season in L.A.
You want sports? We got it right here. This is the Sports Hounds Real Sports Bark Podcast.
So he wants to get in the entertainment business. He does his entertainment with the TV shows and movies and so forth. So, it's pretty much like when Shaq left Orlando to go to the Lakers. It was be closer to Hollywood so he can get into that field. Because that, of course, the movies that Shaq put out and also his rap albums and so forth. But yes, LeBron James is now a Los Angeles Laker, or shall soon become a Los Angeles Laker. And they are giving him a 4-year. Let me make sure I get these numbers right, because usually this guy's been doing a 1-and-1 contract. You know what I mean? But now I guess just to let Magic and the Lakers know that his heart is to stay there and try to turn them around into a contender. But I think it's a max deal, and I think it is $154 million. I think for 4 years. I think. Hold on, I'm trying to get the info now, because we are going to give you the correct information, because misinformation is not what we do. You dig? But yeah, let's talk about this LeBron James going to the Lakers. I'm also hearing that the Lakers are also still trying to get a trade for Kawhi Leonard from the San Antonio Spurs, because he does not want to play for that organization anymore, and he wants to be traded, preferably to LA, where he is from. Plus to try to pair him up with LeBron and Kuzma and Ball. They got a nice little young squad in LA, man. It's gonna be interesting to see how this unfolds, because free agency just started. It's not over. There still could be moves, still could be trades. We're gonna wait and see what happens, because I heard that Lakers also was talking to Capella from the Houston Rockets, as well as the Rockets, because he's a free agent as well. But I heard also the name of DeMarcus Cousins connected to the Los Angeles Lakers to get him, LeBron, and possibly Leonard, if they can pull a trade for him. But it all depends on what the Spurs want. And from what I'm hearing, the Spurs want a lot, so Boston was also in talks with the Spurs for Leonard, but they weren't expected to make a blockbuster. They don't want to let go of Tatum and Brown and so forth, even though they have Irving and Gordon Hayward, who was injured this year, but they will return next season. If I was Boston, I wouldn't make that move. Their team is solid now. And now that you have LeBron leaving the East going out to West, that opens up the East. Now I think Boston has a hold on the East. I will see Boston in the finals next year. I don't see no team. Philadelphia can give them a run for the money, but they have to learn. They have to learn to win. That's a young team, and you figure Kyrie's been to the finals, Hayward's been around, and then you figure these young dudes on the Celtics team has gotten this experience going through this playoff run without those two. So now when those two come back, you're bumping two starters to the bench, so that deepens your bench with experience, and I mean like postseason experience. These guys. Hey, keep your eye on Boston. The East, I think the East is going to be Boston and Phillies as far as the near future. Toronto, I don't know what they have in store. They could break things up. They can, trade off players. They already fired a coach who became coach of the year. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. I don't even think Toronto knows what they're doing. But, hey, let them shoot the dice and see what they roll. But, yeah, man, LeBron James is going to be in that purple and gold, repping that Los Angeles Lakers. That that franchise is historic and has a lot of big name players attached to him over the time, from Kareem to Magic to Worthy to Shaq to Kobe. I mean, and now you have LeBron. So now the torches has been passed, and I'm not saying passed like a next generation, but as far as the next dominant player is now gonna don the purple and gold. So I look forward to this coming season to see how this unfolds, man. How they get, how they gel, how LeBron get these youngsters to play. I think it'll be a big help for Ball also, having somebody like LeBron on that team. So yeah, we'll see what else. Cause like I said, there's possibility of more moves being made. It's just a wait and see. Like I said, this is only day one.
You want sports? We got it right here. This is the Sports Hounds Real Sports Bark Podcast.
We still have other things, on the horizon that could happen. So we're just gonna wait and see. Also, the Lakers also agreed to a deal with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for 1 year, $12 million. Yeah, man. They landed LeBron. Now they're starting to add the pieces around him. You know what I mean? They're gonna give him some good young talent. So this man, that's big news, man. That's real big news, because I had a feeling he was gonna go to LA just because of, like I said, the rumors and the leaks and so forth. But there's another side that I thought that Cleveland would go ahead and keep him and go ahead and add more pieces around him also. But the rumor of that was that the owner of the Cavaliers was said to say that he hoped LeBron will hurry up and leave so he can get his team back. Now, statements like that kind of will push away a star, like, you know what I mean? And I think that relationship had fizzled the last time LeBron had left Cleveland to go to Miami. And then Gilbert wrote that letter, saying that, he did a cowardly act and Cleveland will win a ring before LeBron will, and, and so forth and so on. And then he apologized after the 4 years he was gone to bring LeBron back, and LeBron brought them a ring. And that's what he promised to do. He fulfilled that promise. Now he's off with him and his family, which is setting himself up for the next chapter of his life after basketball. This man has spent 15 years in the league with a 4-year deal with the Lakers. That's going to push him to 19 years. So LeBron's going to play 20 years in the league. That's hands down. At 33, 4-year contract, 37. He said he want to play until his son hits the league, which that's going to put him at 40. But this dude is so well conditioned, and the lack of major injuries during his career has really propelled his career into. He's going to start hitting digits in the categories of points and rebounds and assists. It's going to start tallying up. I know we done had big discussions in the news and media about who's the GOAT, but you cannot have that discussion of who's the greatest of all time until LeBron's career is finished. That's unfair to Jordan. That's unfair to LeBron, because you're comparing someone who played a full career and retired twice, and you know what I mean? But his career is over with, so it's not like Jordan can add more to those stats. LeBron, on the other hand, he's 33. If he plans to play until he's 40, that's another 7 years. Tell me exactly how much points, rebounds, assists will this man add to his resume in 7 more years? You know what I mean? So it is what it is. The proof is in the pudding. You can love him, you can hate him, but the dude is he's one of those generational type players that you only get every generation. You know what I mean? So hats off to the Lakers, hats off to LeBron. They made a decision. Next chapter is the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Other news we have going on. We have Dwight Howard was traded from the Charlotte Hornets to the Brooklyn Nets. and the Nets and Dwight are supposedly he's winning a buyout so he can become a free agent. So we'll see what happens with that. Rumor has it um, that if he gets bought out, there's a couple of suitors for him. I don't know if the Lakers, or possibly not the Lakers, because he already did that one. It didn't work with him and Kobe. But the Warriors. The Warriors are said to be one of the teams that could be interested in Dwight Howard if bought out. But we'll see how that one goes as well, because as of now, the Nets haven't bought him out. But like I said, it's only day one of free agency. So yeah, man. Big news, big news, big news. And there's gonna be some more. We just gotta wait and see. Waiting for that shoe to drop on that potential Leonard trade from the Spurs. We gotta see what team is after him. I heard that Philadelphia is one of the teams that be interested in Leonard. Houston could be interested in Leonard. Because what Houston needs is a trade to get someone in there. They wouldn't have been able to sign like a LeBron or a Paul George outright just because of the contracts they have. They need someone to take off a couple of those contracts that are, that's paying these players, that they can free up some money to get like a Leonard on that team if, they come up with a package that the Spurs want or like. So as of now, there's no movement. I'm pretty sure that the Spurs are talking with a few teams on Leonard, and I guess whoever comes with the best package. It's not even I guess. Well, you might as well say I guess. Let's say I guess, because even if the package is right, it all depends on if the Spurs want to move him to that team or not. You know what I mean? So the control is in their hand. He doesn't have a no trade clause, so they can do whatever they like. But the only thing is, whatever team is going to trade for him has to take the risk of him walking after next season, because he has one more year left on his contract. And he will become a free agent after this coming season, and he can hit the market, and then he can leave. So whatever team decides to trade for him is a gamble, unless they can get him to commit to him. But he's not going to commit unless I think after the year, when he feels that, okay, the situation is right. I like where I'm at. I like the potential of this team making it to the postseason and possibility playing for a championship. The Spurs, on the other hand, are not going to just give him up for peanuts. Is said that they want to get players in return that will still keep them a contender as far as making postseason and possibility of championship too. So, like I said, the pieces have to add up, the numbers have to add up, the sense has to make sense. You know what I mean? Like, the sense of the trade has to make sense, plain and simple. So, and I'm talking about dollar figures. You know what I mean, in the trade. So, man, this NBA season is going to be something else. You guys keep your eyes open. There's more to come. Let's see. Other news we have. Football's in its lull right now, but the end of July they will be reporting to their camps for this upcoming season. Nothing, no big news now. Like I said, this is usually the dead time of the NFL. And so we'll wait until August is when it's going to pick up. August will pick up because when you get into August, you're starting to get towards preseason, and man, we'll see how these teams with their draft picks and new additions and coaching staffs how they iron out. Yeah, man. Also, oh yeah, going back to the NBA, there were draft that we had recently, and also the summer league. The NBA summer league will be July, I think the first weekend of July, which is next weekend. It opens up. This is the first time that all teams from the league will participate in Vegas for the NBA summer league. It's going to be interesting with these young players that's out there that's been drafted. Also, we get to see how they what they look like. I get a kick out of seeing these cats coming in from college and see if they can carry over the abilities and the talent and the know-how that they had in college into the pros. I root for them. I'm a big college fan. when it comes to basketball and football and so forth, because that's the first stage before you go to the next and final stage of being a professional. So I like to see those dudes, if they can get into the pros and do the same thing, and help whatever team they're on get those W's. What other news we have going on here? Yes. This is real sports, Bark. You know what I mean? So we're going to just keep it real with y'all. Go ahead and hit us up at the sportshound.com. Leave us email. You can leave us a comment, any questions that you might have. Go ahead and leave that also. You can reach us on Twitter also at SportsHound247. You can reach us on Instagram at SportsHound247. You know what I mean? So hit us up. We're on Facebook also. Look us up. I'm your boy Tixter. I'm bringing it to you live and direct. We have the first day of NBA free agency jumping off. There's more to come. Keep your eyes peeled. Check out your ESPN. Check out your Bleacher Reports. Check out everything you can, because there's going to be some stuff happening, because I think that's the first big ticket to sign. LeBron is the biggest, but Paul George staying with Oklahoma City is big, because a lot of people thought he was going to the Lakers, also him being from Southern Cal. But he stayed, took the money, stayed with Westbrook. They announced it last night at Westbrook's party that he threw last night. So that's done and out the way. LeBron's a Laker. Chris Paul's a Rocket. DeAndre Jordan's a Maverick. You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, Ed Davis, free agent from Portland, went and signed with the Nets. Then also, what else do we have out there? Shoot, right now, like I said, that's pretty much the basis of it, but there's still a lot of free agency to go. You know what I mean? This is just the beginning. I think once one person signs and the next person signs, the dominoes are going to start falling, and then you're going to have like your fully filled out rosters of your team. So whoever team you're pulling for, check them out. Check out the new additions. See if they fit. Matter of fact, if you want to, you can go ahead and hit us up on, we have a group, the Sports Hound community on Facebook. Go ahead and join. You know what I mean? And that's a good place to go have your discussions and what you think about this team and that team. So on Facebook, our group is the Sports Hound community. Go ahead and sign up, like it. You know what I mean? So I'm Tixter. That's all I have for you now. But I'm going to bring you more. So stay tuned. This is the Sports Hounds Real Sports Bark podcast. And I'm out.
Thanks for checking out the Sports Hounds Real Sports Bark podcast. For more exclusive content, follow us on all social media. Twitter, SportsHound247. Instagram, SportsHound Media. Facebook, SportsHound Media. And on the website at thesportshound.com. And tell your damn friends about the hottest sports podcast on the web.